Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to my messy room. I decided this chair is more comfortable than sitting in the dining room, even though the other computer is charged up. I have a desktop in here that I use most of the time. Like I use it to upload the videos and stuff. It's a nice desktop top computer, fairly new one too. So it does a better job. Makes it go a lot faster and everything. So we're here because of the contest. And one of the things that I should have mentioned, and I think I knew about it, and I didn't even think to tell you, was that when you subscribe, if you're if you don't make your profile public, then I don't see who subscribes. So there was a number of subscribers, and thank you very much for all those people who subscribed over the last couple of days here, and to all the subscribers. But I was only able to get less than half of the names because when you sign up to YouTube, your profile, it's the default setting is private, and so you actually have to go and make it public for somebody to know that you've subscribed to them. Otherwise, there's no way of me knowing. All I can do is see the number of subscribers. I can't see who the names are of the people who did. So my apologies to you for not being able to put all of your names into the hat this time, but there's just no way I could know what your names are. But there's an even better prize coming today, though, and you can get in the draw for that. Normally, I don't do this. I don't just go by names of subscribers like I just did. That's the first time I've done that before, so it's never been an issue before. Normally, I just get you to, write on my wall or on the comment section or something like that, something, and then that gives me, like then I can see your name, right? It doesn't tell me that you're a subscriber or not, but I can see the names that are on there. Anyway, I do have a bunch of names in here, and there are 5 prizes. So let's get to that first before we get to the other prize. So I'll just get this out of my way here so I can't see it. Okay, there's 5 prizes, and what they are is a set of 5 skinks, and they're from Doug Friend at historicalboardgaming.com. So what's going to happen is I'm going to pull 5 names out, and then I'm going to have you get in touch with me. You can private message me. You used to be able to private message on YouTube, but you can't do that anymore. So just private message me on accessanalyze.org. If you don't have a profile there, then you should have one, because that's the home of our community, our online community. So if your name is called, just go make a profile over at accessanalyze.org, and then my name on there is General Hangren, and you can just search for me there, and that will then just send me a private message. Anyway, the first winner is, can I see? There it is, Consumer. Person's name is Consumer. So let's set that one aside. Okay. So that's 5 skinks. If you've never ordered from historicalboardgaming.com, then you should. Okay, this one here, Liam McCauley. Let's see if I can get up there. There you go, Liam McCauley. So that's the second winner. Okay, I'm not looking down. Okay, there we go. General Pardon. That's the third winner. No. Yeah, I've only got about 20 things in here instead of, should have been over 50, right? Here we go. Yu Nguyen. Where is that? Come on, there it is. Yu Nguyen. And last one. Okay. It's Blitzkrieg 2142K. So there you go. Blitzkrieg 2142K. There we go. So those are the 5 winners. Now, let's just talk about this other prize a little bit. So recently, my friend in town here in Prince George, Panzer King, he and I were supposed to have an event that you probably heard about. Most of you have heard about it anyway. It was the Spring Offensive We had a number of videos out for it and everything, and we weren't able to do it because of the coronavirus, right? Like it just, if we'd have done it a month earlier, then we could have done it, right? But it just, you know, like as time kept getting closer, the more and more people kept getting excluded from traveling, and then when it got down to where it was just the local guys, we just decided, you know what, let's not do it. If everybody else can't make it, we had people coming from the United States and from BC and from Alberta. We thought if everybody else can't make it, then you know we probably shouldn't be getting together anyway. Um, Panzer King has a baby that's less than a year old, and you know like that would be like you got to protect your family, right? It's not that anybody would try to hurt them, but you know we could be asymptomatic, any one of us, and not know it and pass it on. And I've only got one kidney, so you know I've got to watch myself as well. I don't know if that's something that makes you more susceptible to coronavirus or not. But you know, in the interest of doing the right thing, we decided the best thing that we could do was just to cancel the event, and we would like to postpone it, but we don't know how. We don't know what to do. Right? Nobody knows what's going to happen next. I know I'm going back to work tomorrow, but for how long I don't know. Right? It's pretty weird. I'm sure the rest of you would agree when you leave the house, which is probably rarely, unless you're continuing to work. It's weird to drive around the streets of your town or your city and to see it so empty like that. You know, it's like it's 5 in the morning or something, and on a Sunday, and there's nobody around. You know, like there's you can see like 3 cars on the street. You can see 2 miles down the road, right? It's just an eerie feeling being out there like that. But you know, up here we're doing pretty good. People are like, even when you do have to go out to get groceries, people are respecting boundaries and everything. Um, all the stores that are open, um, they only let a certain number of people in, so you line up outside 6 feet apart from each other, right? And when one person leaves the store, another person goes in. And so when you do get into Costco or the grocery store or whatever, the place is almost empty. So you know it's pretty good that way. And then people aren't coming up and standing beside you or anything. You know, like reaching over to you to grab an item or anything. People are being very respectful for the most part. And you know, if you're grabbing something off the shelf, then they're waiting back, and then when you move, then they go in and get what they want as well. So you know, it's working out pretty good up here. And I don't know if we've had any deaths in our health region here. I think I heard of one a month or so ago, but the number of cases is pretty low, and the number of deaths is even lower, which is something we're all thankful for up here. But that's, you know, what you might expect in a fairly remote community such as ours, um, as opposed to being, you know, in a big city where there's a lot more, right? People living a lot closer together, a lot more people a lot closer together, you know, and having an international airport in your city is something that also can help spread it a lot faster, right? Even though they're shut down now, I mean, they did come in originally, right? And I did travel. Luckily, I traveled before all this happened. It was in mid-February. So, I mean, we'd heard about it, but it hadn't really made it over here yet. And, but still, it was weird going through the Vancouver airport and seeing so few Chinese people, people of, or even Chinese Canadians, like just people of Chinese origin, right? Because Vancouver, when you go to the airport, or really when you go just about anywhere in Vancouver, a huge percentage of their population is Chinese origins, and so to walk through the airport, it was half empty because all the Chinese people were not there, right? Or the Chinese Canadians, and so that was kind of weird at the time, and and then you know, like it was just shortly after that that cases started showing up in North America, so I'm glad that I was able to get that holiday in anyway. You know, going down to Tucson to visit my friend. Anyway, so this video here is about giving away those 5 prizes, but it's also about thanking all of my subscribers. I've talked to you about this before when I hit 1,000 or when I hit 2,000, and the reasons why I started up my channel and everything. It means a lot to me. I have a job that is pretty stressful, and um, and I live alone. So, you know, before I started doing this, I was just coming home and not relieving that stress very well. You know, and like maybe watching TV or something, and like I didn't have any hobbies or anything. And there's a reason for that. I mean, there's if you know me, then you know what all those reasons are. But it's just we were recovering up here from disaster, and I needed the last thing I needed to do was to get a hobby so that I could distance myself from all the other things that go on, and so this has just been perfect for me because like I started playing Axis and Allies when I was something like 20 years old. You know, it was back in 1984 when the game first came out, and then I bought all those games that came out, Fortress America and Shogun and Conquest of the Empire, you know, and any other games that came out after that that were like that, right? And all the different versions of Axis and Allies. And then I didn't play them for years. Just life got in the way, right? I went and was doing other things with my life. The games were on the shelf. And then I had kidney surgery. I had cancer, and so I had to get one of my kidneys taken out. And so when I was recovering, um, I had I had purchased the Axis and Allies 1914 game, and I couldn't figure out one of the rules, and so I went online. First time I ever went online for Axis and Allies, because the last time I played it, there was no internet, you know. So, or it was very in its very infancy, and there wasn't much on there. Anyway, I couldn't believe it. There was this huge Axis and Allies community online, and so I joined that, um, and while I was recovering, I was watching videos, um, learning how to play, Grasshopper videos and Jonathan Meyer and a few others. There wasn't many people doing videos back then, but there was a few of them, and I thought, you know, this is something that I could do. I've got an iPhone, and you know, and so I got my son to help me clean out my spare room there, and that's why this room's so full of junk. I got no place to put my junk. But anyway, we cleaned that out, made a war room out of it, and I started making videos. And it was the best thing that I could possibly do because when I'm doing that, when I'm playing with my little plastic army man, I don't think about the rest of the world. You know, it doesn't even exist anymore. I exist in that world that I'm playing in. You know what I mean? That tiny little world that's at my fingertips. Um, I just totally immerse myself in that, and um, it wouldn't be nearly as much fun if I was just doing it alone, right? I do have a couple friends here in town that I can play with now, but I want to play it more than that, more than we can get together, right? And I couldn't do that if if I wasn't inviting all of you to come along with me and and uh, and play, right? Like I just turn the camera on. Sometimes I don't even know what kind of video I'm going to make. Usually I do. Usually I have an idea. Some videos take a lot of preparation, but once you've made 100 of them or so, it's it just comes naturally. You can just turn the camera on with just a bit of an idea. Like I'll go to turn the camera on. What was I going to do a video about? Oh yeah, that thing, right? So you know, like I just remember, and I always start the video the same way. It's hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to my war room in Prince George, British Columbia. to me, that just, okay, that puts me in the mode when I say that. It just, that's, I didn't mean for it to do that, but that's what turns me in from the mode where I am here in the world to video mode. Once I say those words, then I'm in video mode, and I'm conscious. It's like somebody's standing over my shoulder watching, and I'm just talking through what I'm doing. I don't think about the fact that there could be 500 people watch it in the next couple days, or 30,000 people watch it in the next year. I don't think about anything like that. I just think about it's just me and you, just me and one other person, and I'm just describing what I'm doing to that one other person, and so it doesn't, it feels like I'm not alone, you know. Um, I don't feel overwhelmed either, like there's 1,000 people jammed into my little room there. I just feel like there's me and you, and it just it I don't know, it for me it's just fun. I just have fun when I'm making videos. When I'm not making videos, then I feel like I miss it, you know, like I feel like I'm not having fun. I get this itch, and I want to make another video, and sometimes I can't think of a reason to, right? So sometimes I just sit down like this in front of the camera and just talk to you, and but it's not the same as playing with my little plastic army men, which reminds me, let me show you what the prize is. Okay, so I wasn't able to give away this prize. This prize was something that took me a while to put together. If you remember back at Christmas there, I gave away a prize for Christmas, and it was a set of Russians. Everything that you needed to play Global War 36 to 45 version 3, if you were the Russian player. Well, this is if you were the Commonwealth. Well, actually, not the Commonwealth. Let's just say if you were the UK and the FEC. I didn't include any Anzac pieces in here, although you could just use these for Anzac, but you probably want to just use the gray pieces. So let's just take a look at this, see what's inside. So, like, I'm not going to show you everything. Like, I don't need to show you the tanks and stuff, right? But there are 3 sizes of tanks. There's the large, the medium, and the small tanks, and those, excuse me, also like the tank destroyers. Absolutely, like everything in here, including the specialty pieces, like jet fighters and heavy bombers. But you'll notice I didn't paint the wingtips or the boats, because I don't know whoever wins this, if they like to do that, if they want to do that. I didn't put magnets on, and I didn't paint the tips of them. But you're getting a full set. So there's not just here. Look at, you've got the strategic bomber, right? You've got the heavy bomber, and check this out. You've got the heavy jet bomber as well. Like if you're playing East versus West from the Global War series, that you need a jet bomber. So there you go, right? There's a few of these jet bombers in there. A few heavy bombers, jet fighters, seaplanes. Of course, we got the seaplanes, right? But then also got everything you need. Like this is the Vanguard battleship. So there's going to be a couple of these in there. That's your heavy battleship, and the Midway battle or carrier. That's going to be your heavy carrier, right? And then you've got your regular carriers, and then your fleet carriers. Where are, oh, sorry, the escort carriers. They're in here somewhere anyway. Well, here they are. So a bunch of these as well, the escort carriers. So yeah, absolutely every piece. I've even got all of the coastal defense ships, and like coastal subs and torpedo boat destroyers, all of them that you're going to need to play the British. And then the infantry, all custom infantry, no two the same. Every single one of them is different. Every single infantry in the box here is different. Like there's a little Scottish guy there, and they're from a few different sets as well. Like it's not just from one set, one box set, 72 172 soldiers. There's a few different boxes in there. And then you got your airborne. So what I did with these, rather than put the chips on the bottom, I just colored the bases gray, the same color as the HBG ones. And you know, if I would have started doing that to begin with, I probably would have done that for my own guys, because they'll fit into a territory a lot easier like this, right? Than having the big chip underneath them. So there's that. Then there's the Marines. These are the same guys that I use for Marines. These are the British from the 1914 game. And of course you got your mountain infantry from HBG, and their bases are painted brown, right? And then the militia are the regular British soldier, the Axis and Allied soldier. So they're the militia, and they're all the same. And then that's not all. There's also, I've got Gurkhas in here because there's Gurkhas in the game. So what I did is I painted the bases on these green, just so you could tell the difference, right? Because they're all custom infantry as well. Like there's another Gurkha here. Oops. So these guys are mountain infantry, right? Mountain infantry from Nepal. And there's another dude. Another Gurkha. And then, that's not all. I've also got custom infantry for the FEC. As you can see here, it's an Indian soldier. And I painted the bases of these blue, because their roundel is blue, the FEC, right? And so there's a whole set of these in here. Again, no two are the same. Every single one of them, it has a different pose, right? Every single one of these Indian infantry are a different pose. But that's not all. You think that's a lot of different kinds of infantry. I've also put in here colonial infantry. Like, you don't need colonial infantry to play the game. Colonial infantry is just infantry that you put on that that don't need a factory, right? But I go a little overboard myself because I like to play with little plastic army men. So I've got these British colonial infantry, right? Like they're not from World War II necessarily. They're probably from say 50 years earlier, maybe 100 years earlier. But anyway, and they're all on these bases here. They're on different colonial infantry, these bases, right? And again, every single one of them is in a different pose. You don't have two infantry here that look the same. And that's, except for, like, all the mountain infantry look the same, and all the Marines look the same, and all the militia look the same. But that's it. All the other infantry do not look the same. Now, we've got anti-aircraft guns, and we've got the 25 pounders here for your regular artillery. But where is it here? Let me see. I've also got some heavy artillery in here. I just have to find it. I haven't even looked in this case for a long time, because I put this together, like I said, and then the event didn't happen, right? Anyway, there's heavy artillery in here. There's a couple of different kinds of mechs, so that you can use the mechs for regular mechs and then your advanced mechs. I've also put, like, you've got your British transports, right? So there's your British transport. I've also got attack transports. So these are the ones that HBG is using for attack transports. These are a 3D printed one. That's the Haskell. It was an American transport. And then lots of subs, lots of destroyers, and where's the cruisers? Okay, we got battle cruisers. That's the Alaska class battle cruiser. There's a number of these in there. And we've got the Leander class light cruiser. And then you've got your regular heavy cruiser from Axis and Allies in there, right? So you got the three sizes of cruisers. There's I've given you 3 different battleships as well. So let me just find them here. And that's not including the coastal ones, right? Okay, so we've got the King George battleship. That'll be your fast battleship, okay? And then there's the Axis and Allies battleship. That'll just be your regular battleship. And then, of course, I showed you earlier, you've got your Vanguard as well. That's your heavy battleship. So you've got the three different sizes of battleship that you need. Showed you all the tanks. Well, the light tanks are just the Stuart light tank. They come from the Allied set from HPG. So there's a number of those as well. And then all the planes. Got the jet fighters. Most of the planes are just the Axis and Allies ones. Here's the jet fighter here. And then, of course, we got the medium bombers from HPG, the Allied set. And also the transport planes as well. A bunch of these in there as well. But then you get your regular ones like your Mosquito tactical bomber and your Spitfire for the fighters. What else we got in here? Anything interesting? Okay, we've got the cavalry. Got enough cavalry to play. Just looking for the coastal. Make sure I put the coastal subs in here. Oh yeah, there they are. Yeah, so there's a coastal sub there, right? So I didn't know how you wanted to do your advanced submarines. So I just put a bunch of subs in there. And then like what you'll have to do is just paint the ends of one of them red or whatever color you want so that you know which one is this, your advanced sub. Or just get a different sculpt. Like there's enough in here to do that. But you could also get a different sculpt if you want. I have a different sculpt, but I didn't have any extras, so I couldn't throw them in here for you. And that's about it. So all of that stuff in there, right? Look at all those units. And it comes in this nice case. Put the sticker on there. The other thing that's cool about this case is that the lid stays up like that. Like if you've got a card that can go on there. Anyway, like I don't like it when they open all the way because then you need twice as much space on your table to put it down on. But this one, you can put it on the edge of the table and it doesn't disturb whatever's over here, right? So anyway, that's the prize that I'm giving away. And that's the main prize. I'm also going to give away a couple of other prizes as well. And this is from Doug at Historical Board Gaming because he gave me a bunch of prizes. I guess it's just a whack of prizes, right? But I haven't been giving them away. But these were for the event that we were going to have. So another prize I'm going to give away is the package that you need with all the things in it to play version 3, all the bases and everything. Like the bases are printed on there, but these are like, say you wanted to upgrade a base to another base. So there's 5 or 10 of each of those in there, and there's all kinds of stuff, all kinds of. Here, let me just go get them, okay? I'll just pause this for a second. Well, apparently I can't just pause this one. I have to, I'm going to have to stitch the 2 videos together when I'm done here. Anyway, a couple more prizes. So there's this one here. Now that's everything that you need to play version 3. It's got all the bases on it. It's got your kamikaze tokens, your under construction markers, just everything, escort, and convoy rating. When your capital ships are damaged, so damage tokens. Air bases are on here, like just a ton of tokens. So everything that you would need to play the game in here, your acrylic tokens. And this was something that you could buy as a pre-order with the stuff, and it was quite an expensive prize. So that's a good prize there. Another thing that a lot of people don't have, that's why I'm giving this one out, is an entire set of tank destroyers. So tank destroyers for every single nation. There's 5 tank destroyers for each one. And I don't think you're going to need more than 5 for each one. Like if you need more than 5, then get yourself another pack of 5 for that one nation. But, you know, like they're not something that can blitz, right? So they're not going to be as good as a medium tank. So, but, you know, like they do have their use in the game. I found that they were pretty darn good on defense, right? But anyway, and they got the target selection and everything. So that's, you don't have to run out and buy all the different tank destroyers for all the different nations. And then there's this one here. This is a set of Bring in the Heavies, the small set of Bring in the Heavies for the Germans. So it's got 2 of each. I think there was 11 things. So there's probably 22 things in this package here. And like there's a couple of King Tigers and, you know, a couple of, 2 of everything basically. The Bring in the Heavy set you could get either with 5 or with 2, right? And I haven't seen them on there. Like I see them there, but they seem to be out a lot, right? So I don't even know that you can buy them right now. Anyway, lots of heavy tanks and stuff, and specialty planes in here. Oh, it's got that little Horton in here as well. So, and if you wanted to use these for your global war game, you can, right? There's the stats are for these are on there. There's that the little wing plane. Like it's not the strategic bomber one. I think this is actually a combination tactical bomber and jet fighter. Like it's got the rules for that on there. So when you take off, you say it's going to be a tactical bomber this time, so you'll get the target selection. And okay, he's going to be a fighter this time because he's an escort or something, right? Anyway, so so there's that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 prizes. The main prize is going to be the British set, right? And then the other ones, I'm going to let when we do pick for the prizes, I'm going to let whoever's turn it is pick the prize that they want, because they might already have all the markers, right? They might have bought the marker set, so they might want to take the Germans or the tank destroyers or something. I'll just let you decide. But anyway, the grand prize is going to be that British set, and there's a lot in there. Like I said, no 2 infantry are the same in there, except for, you know, all the militia are the same, and all the Marines are the same. But of the regular infantry, the Gurkhas and the FEC infantry and the colonial infantry, all of those are completely different sculpts, and all different poses and everything, right? So it's actually a pretty cool set. It's what I play with. What I've done, like when you open one of those boxes, you get 3 or 4 with the same pose, right? So by now I've got tons of these boxes in my closet right now, and you know, I give them to friends when they come over and stuff. People when they come to town, hey, you want some colonial infantry? You know, I'll give them a bunch, right? But anyway, I can just go through and make up a prize like this with all the extras that I have, and so that's pretty cool. Anyway, so I'm gonna cut the video off right now. So how are we gonna win this thing? Well, let's just make a comment in the comment section of this video and tell me that you want to win the prize, though, because some people like to just say, hey, congratulations, but they you know, like they've got all the units that they need to play the game, and so they tell me, you know, don't put my name in for the prize. So just tell me that you want to be in for one of these prizes, and I tell you what, tell me that you want to be in for the prize, but tell me if you don't win the grand prize, which one of these that you want, okay? So there's the markers, there's the tank destroyers, and there's the Bring in the Heavy set, okay? The German Bring in the Heavy set. So tell me which one of these you would like, okay? And so when I draw for the grand prize, whoever's gets the grand prize is going to get that. And then when I'm drawing for the next prize, I'll just pick the names that are on there for this one, pick the names that are on there for this one, and pick the names that are on there for this one. How's that sound? That sounds like a good idea to me. And you can look in the comment section there. If there's only one person that wanted the heavy set or something, then you might want to sign up for that one. Be sneaky about it. So anyway, thanks again for everybody for supporting my channel, for watching my videos, and for being a subscriber more than anything. We're well up over 500,000 views now. It's hard to believe the scale at which it moves now. Like got over 100 subscribers in the last month. Like before, in a month, I would be lucky to get 10. You know, now I get 100 in the last month, and like some months I get 30,000 views. You know, and it just it's hard to believe that so many people see my videos now. Hard for me to believe anyway, because I haven't changed at all. I'm the same guy as I was 2 years ago when I started this, 2 or 3 years ago. A little, yeah, 2 or 3 years ago. Anyway, so yeah, but it's kind of blows me away that how fast that's going and everything, and I'm really thankful for all of that. So keep watching my videos. Thanks for being a subscriber, and put your comment in there. Tell me which one of those 3 alternate prizes that you want, and that'll be it. We'll do another video next weekend giving away the prizes. Okay. Um, yeah, that's about it. Next weekend sounds good. So take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.